What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is April the 29th. Happy Monday, everyone. Hopefully everyone had an amazing weekend thus far. I'm going to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers, and break it down on where big money is gravitating towards this morning. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, today is going to be relatively quiet from the data point standpoint. It is going to be companies unveiling their earnings and just optimism that's going to be driving the market higher, lower side, loop-de-loop. Futures are looking very green. You also do have the fear and greed index somewhat stabilized at 42, so I think that's good. People's appetite for risk is somewhat maintaining. It still is under the fear category though, so something to keep in mind. But companies unveiling their earnings is one of the biggest driving factors so far, and probably will be for Monday and Tuesday until the feds come out on Wednesday. But you do have good old SOFI this morning, and they did have a huge triple beat. And so I think this is another one of those scenarios, and I think was it 6 consecutive times where they do have very good earnings and it just goes down. So the actual earnings call is underway right now as I speak, so I'll give you a good summarization of that. But I think a lot of people just anticipated a sell-off. One thing that I'm really going to be watching very closely is what shorts do. So shorts will be able to dictate and kind of break it down on whether they feel it's justified or not. So that's something I'll be monitoring throughout the day. But one point to really watch for, with it at $7.52, down 4.45%, watch for it to regain above this 775. It definitely does need to do that. If not, then the technicals are going to be breaking a little bit more. As I've said, leading up to, obviously, today, the technicals, more specifically the stochastic, is getting up there, somewhat considered overbought. So, in essence, the first sign of weakness, such as maybe something said in their earnings that I haven't really looked at yet, then it will prompt a sell-off. So maybe that is what's causing this, or it might just be the whole SOFI. This is what happened with SOFI. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Moving on, Tesla. So Tesla is up 12.72% based on Elon going to China. A lot of news coming out associated to that. So I feel like that is going to be a very good play, and I couldn't have been more wrong about Tesla, because I was saying leading up to the earnings that it was going to be sub 136. That was based on their technicals and me assuming that they were going to miss on the earnings. Well, to be fully fair, they actually did miss on their earnings, just their future guidance was phenomenal. So that's one thing that's really given it a nice boost up. So I've been very wrong about it, and clearly Elon has big plans for Tesla. Shorts have been getting in over this last little bit. They've been kind of pulling out, but I think if you look bigger picture, it's gone about 2.91% to about almost 4% for the short interest. So on a percentage basis, definitely very interesting. 106.37 million shares overall are being shorted. And if you are looking at trading Tesla today with a 188, it is between this pivot and this R1. So just watch for it, 197 to be the next target, and then 180 to hold. In my opinion, I don't really anticipate either of them getting touched today. So I don't know, it'd probably be just more of a volatile day, but I feel based on everything that's been coming out, Tesla's been building a good foundation for at least a foreseeable future. Moving on, so this stock has been very interesting. A lot of money is getting into it, so it has just skyrocketed. And this company has actually been on my list of the top 5 most heavily shorted stocks. So again, clearly it has shown and flexed to, or that it's able to go up. There hasn't been any recent news to kind of justify that. Last news that came out was on the 25th. So that, once again, I think has just laid the foundation for all of this positive momentum. So it is up 9.66% pre-market. This is what they do. Biotech out of San Diego. And of course, like I said, it is very heavily shorted based on the short score. So 98.36%. So the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. So I believe it was number 1. I believe it's kind of dropped a couple places to maybe number 3, but utilization is 100%. 39.07% of the free float is being shorted. 57.02 million shares overall are being shorted. And despite the recent run up, shorts haven't actually returned anything. If anything, they've kind of increased. So this is all-time high short interest number. So essentially this could still be a squeeze play, and I think this is why a lot of people are kind of starting to talk on this company right here. Like I said, this is more of a seasonality. So if you are one of those individuals that likes to trade, May and June historically, at least over the last 8 years, does do fairly well. So again, take that into consideration. If you're looking at trading it with a 811, it's just going to be between this R2 and this R3. So watch for a 792 to hold and then 1011 to be the next target. Moving on, NIO is piggybacking off that China optimism. So it is up 4.9%. So pretty epic stuff. It is somewhat heavily shorted as well, so 13.88% of the free float is being shorted. That works out to be 189.27 million shares overall are being shorted, but with it at 469, it is between this S1 and the pivot. So 438 is going to be a strong support, and then 508 will be that next strong resistance / target. I don't see this pivot being touched, so this 508 at least today. If anything, because of the broader market, it might actually have a pullback, and if that does happen, then maybe this S1 might be touched, but I don't, or at least at this stage, I don't anticipate it being broken. So NIO's technicals are looking fairly good, and they did bounce off of that all-time low, or 52-week low of $3.61. So ever since then, it's been going up. And finally, I'm actually at a profit with one of my two positions. So I have around $6.50 average on one, and then $4.36 or something like that in another. So I'm finally at a profit with this company. I know not many people can actually say that because this stock has not necessarily performed the best over the last 1 year, down 41.54%, and 2024 down 51%. So crazy stuff. And finally, Amazon. So even though their earnings do come out tomorrow, like I kind of pointed out right here, so tomorrow after hours, Tuesday, like this company is getting a very interesting and notable amount of money rushing into it. And as far as I can see, there isn't any news, no SEC filings to really justify that. So I think it's just kind of optimism associated to their earnings. So yeah, I think that's a very interesting thing. It's not heavily shorted, so 0.82% of the free float is being shorted. And looking right here with it at 182 and change, it is between this R1 and R2. So just watch for 181 to hold, and then 184 to be that next strong resistance / target. So let me know your thoughts on those companies. And as I've been doing, so this is the website I like to use, Speaking to AI essentially. And so I'll give you a quick overview of that. And to be honest, I'm just opening it up right now. So I'll do daily stock picks because I like to share that with you. It goes over the longs and shorts, what is a buy as of today. And so I'll let AI think whatever it's thinking, if it's thinking, maybe not. Okay, so UMB long, and in case you are new, goes over the reason on why it is feeling it's a long today. So UMB, second one is DCPH, third one obviously Tesla, no more notably. I don't know if there's any correlation why Tesla doesn't have that little symbol next to it, kind of weird, but still. Fourth is MNKD, so that's long, and then PHG is another long. So that's the top 5 stocks. What AI is saying is a buy, and if you look back at my previous videos, they have a pretty good, I'd say maybe like 85% success rate. So pretty interesting stuff. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, make sure you guys definitely take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the Mag 7. So a pretty kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.